Ville and Mige from a band called Him.
And this is so Musica.
It totally is. It's feeling good, you know. It's been taking us 10 years to have an album that everybody in the band will be totally satisfied with it, because we all have so different influences that's very hard to keep everybody, you know, the whole family happy all the time. So this is one of the first times. It was great recording it and interesting to work with the new label and all that. So we feel like 15 again, even though we look like 45. It was pretty quick. The whole writing songs. I had a couple of songs in my back pocket from maybe a year and a half ago, and we used some of those tracks. Yeah. The half of the album was the older stuff, and then we wrote most of the stuff just like a month and a half before we went into the studio. Recorded 2 months in a old nunnery on top of a hill in Los Angeles, in Silver Lake, and the whole idea was basically just to fly away from home so we didn't have to do the dishes. Studios are all the same around the world, and markets keep on changing, so as a musician it's impossible to think about what's going to sell and what's going to be popular and whatnot. We're just trying to follow our own hearts and do the music which we want to do. And the reason maybe to record in the States is the fact that we've been recording in Wales before, we've been mixing in London, we've been doing stuff in our home country, Finland, before, and we just thought that we want to try out something different. And Warner Music's headquarters are in LA, and because this is our first album for Warner's, we kind of like wanted to meet all the people and see how they work, and they can see how we work. And also, our producer lives in LA. He's an Englishman, but he lives in Los Angeles, so that was the reason.
Heaven ablaze in our eyes, we're standing still in time. The blood on our hands is the wine. We offer a sacrifice. Come on and show them your love. Rip out the wings of a butterfly for your soul, my love. Rip out the wings of a butterfly.
For example, I've known him, not the band, but this particular person. I've known him since he was like 10 years old and I was like 8. And we've been playing different bands together. He's seen me fall in love for the first time, and you know, I've seen him having his first girlfriend and stuff like that. So we've been growing up like brothers, more or less. So it's actually very hard to say, to put in few words the musical evolution of the band, because basically if we start a band when we're around like 16 years old, and now we're close to 30 or around 30, it's like those are very important years in anybody's life anyway. So we've been basically grown up together, and hopefully the music reflects on that, bits and pieces. You know, we started because of Black Sabbath, and we are still here because of Black Sabbath.
Well, every time you make an album, you should be wanting to do something new well, hopefully something better than a previous one, because, like you said, the evolution is an interesting process, and you should really bask in the power of that phenomena.
Yeah, well, the older you get, the more information you have, and the more information you have, the more detailed you want to be in your work. And also, an album always reflects upon the time, you know. You like to wear black for a year, maybe then wear blue for another year. And of course, it all reflects in everything we've been listening to and all the movies we've seen, the state of the world, and, you know, everything. So
You have to evolve, otherwise your like a musical picture will start to fade like a ghost.
So I think that it's very, you know, you can't, even if you don't want to change, you will change. You can't do exactly the same old again. Even AC/DC, they've changed. Just a tiny bit, but they still change. Well, there's so many metals around nowadays. There's like, you know, Feng Shui metal and yoga metal, and I'm really happy to have the term love metal invented by us for our kind of music. Because, you know, when we started out and still people are having a hard time of categorizing what we do, you know, whether we're a straight-on rock band or a poppy rock band or a rock band with a goth influence or whatever. So I thought that it was a lot easier to invent one of our own. And it sounds better. It's very much own experiences. That's my way of coping with the world. And I consider that to be very important. I sing about something that means something to me. Maybe, yeah, a new idea for the next album. You know, maybe we do like a fairy tale thing. Yeah, it just feels weird. I've never understood bands who, you know, a bass player. Well, but the Black Sabbath is different.
Oh, it's kind of different, yeah.
They're the
yeah.
exception that makes.
But they are not like personal lyrics. They are more like one of these good fantasy ones. So, but to sing about some other person's personal experience is kind of weird. I think.
True.
You know, at least I hope they were not personal experiences for Black Sabbath. They sang about embryos and stuff.
This endless mercy mile, we're crawling side by side, with hell freezing over in our eyes. God's kneel before I cry. Come on and show them your love. Rip out the wings of a butterfly for your soul, my love. Rip out the wings of a butterfly for your soul.
We've been always treated well in Spain, like more than we deserve, I think. People have been really friendly. And
Especially Madrid has always been really good for us. Yeah, we played the La Riviera a lot of times, and we've had a great time there. And the audience is always nuts in a very positive way. A lot of people waiting to get in, you know, singing along and all that. So that's crazy. And it's getting better in Barcelona as well.
yeah.
So we haven't been usually there's so many countries we have to tour. There's not time to tour all the cities, unfortunately. So you easily end up playing the bigger places. But yeah, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
In playing Bilbao and
Bilbao and Granada and places like that.
you know, of course, if we want to make an album, we want to be as successful as possible. And we are happy with the album, and so should maybe some of the rock audience as well. It's a bit different from what's there in on the shelves, you know. It's a bit more melodic and it's a bit more heartfelt, and it's a bit more combining different influences than a lot of rock music nowadays. So you know, we're hoping for the best, you know. That's what we're here for. Well, I think the contradictory nature of the fact that we are five people with so many different influences, and we still want to work together, and we still want to do something together that's not easily categorizable and what is easily not. You can't pinpoint all the little tiny influences. I think that's the reason. We're trying to balance between the happiest side and then the bit more melancholic side when it comes to the emotional side of the band.
Howdy ho, people. I'm Mige and this is Ville from a band called Him, and
Now you're going to see a video called Wings of a Butterfly.
hope you dig it.
Because we dig it.